Hello, how's everybody doing? Welcome to Intimately Twisted podcast. We're the podcast on love, intimacy, sex, and trauma. My name is Jennifer Smith. Apologies for the delay, just been a little busy. We had some technical difficulties for one of our hosts, so I don't want you to think I forgot about you. We're still here. So I'm so excited. Thank you for waiting around. We're just gonna jump right on in. It's been a while, right? It's been a while since we've gone live, just a few weeks. Want to give everyone time for the holidays. So I'm super, super excited. Hope your Thanksgiving was good because mine was. Ate a lot of good stuff. So I'm really, really excited about that. And tonight's show, guess what? It's going to be so good. I'm so excited. We have singer, songwriter, actor, PLAIR. He's going to be on tonight. And we're going to talk to him about, love, intimacy, sex, trauma, whatever comes up. This is just really a free-flowing conversation, right? Just for us to just make yourself at home. So I have my drink. It is non-alcoholic tonight, just because. And I welcome you to pick up a drink, chat tonight, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Listen, we're new, okay? So I get it. You're not going to see a whole bunch of likes. I'm just being very transparent. Intimately Twisted podcast just started about a month and a half ago-ish, right? And so we're just trying to get out there. We're trying to talk to you about the positive side of things. There's so much negativity in the world. Like, yes, we know there's negativity, but we don't want it here, right? We want this to be a safe place for people to listen and talk about the things that really, really matter when it comes to love. And love doesn't have to be like relationship, right? It could be love for something, a love for a business, love for music. And that's what we're talking about tonight. So I'm super, super excited. Let's jump right on in. It looks like our guest host, Tably, is still not able to join us. It's okay. We're going to be respectful of your time. We're going to keep it going. So without further ado, let's just jump right on in to have PLAIR join us tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
What's going on? What's going on? How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I can't complain. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. As you know, we had some technical difficulties with our guest host. We really wanted to have Tably on tonight.
Right.
I'm still going to show her video because I really wanted the people to see why we had her, we were having her on anyway. So we're just going to jump right on in and hey, let's just jump to it.
How's it doing? By the way, you've been doing your thing.
Coach.
You better.
Oh, how I wish I could fly. Where do I escape to? I know that you're hurting too. Only God can see us through, yeah. Run, run. I wanna run to a better place. Oh, run, run, run far away from this shame that won't go away.
Dancer. All right, everyone, let's welcome to. All right, so I just want to show that little video. For those who don't know, again, I am Jennifer Smith. I am the founder of the Intimately Twisted podcast. I'm also the founder of the Achievement Academy, writer, director, producer of Anaya's Escape. That was a bit of the trailer that we showed there. And the song, which is the music video I directed, and both Tably and India Granger, actors in the film, performed that song. So,
Dope.
Yeah. Just thought I'd give you a little taste of that.
Man, that was dope.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is Houston's own PLAIR. I would love to just have you jump right in and just introduce yourself as well. What have you been up to, and what all are you doing? Because you have so much stuff going on now.
Man, Well, first of all, my name is Plair. If don't know, and it's PLAIR, not
Yes.
player,
Not player.
not player. It's player. You know what I mean? And music has really been like a saving grace to me because it's an escape. It's a way for you to say what's on the inside out. And a lot of times that's hard. A lot of people have a problem with expressing, but that's a gift to be able to put it out. But as far as like shows we have upcoming, can we speak on the shows? You want me to speak on
Yeah. Let's just jump right on in.
okay. So we have the soonest thing coming up is it'll be December 30th. It's Tribeca. At the Tribeca, it's She's So Cold and Brother Malcolm. Like it's the first one. If you missed the first one, you definitely have to come to the second one. It's R&B and poetry. It's straight
Yeah,
good
yeah.
vibes, good beautiful vibes, and all of that. It's grown folks only. So
I
that's the
think this is
first.
actually the third one though. There was one back in August. There was
See,
one.
you said it was a first before this one,
Yeah, I missed that one. But there was one, I think there was one in August. There was one in, was that November? Right? November.
right?
Beginning November, whenever that was.
Yeah. It was the beginning of November, and it's another
No,
one
I
coming.
take that back. That was October because you came to the Halloween thing. So that was October.
So right. So yeah, you still right. You still right.
And so
So
this will
you
be
said
the third one. And it
this
was
will be the
live.
third.
Yep.
See, I didn't go to I didn't know the first one.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So actually, man, how networking works. It's a beautiful, just getting out, doing different things, how networking works. She's So Cold. I actually ran into them from another event performing prior to that. And that kind of made other connections, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And from that's the last show. That's actually how I ran into y'all. It was a beautiful, ran into you, and that was a beautiful thing. And we've been networking ever since. And to be able to be on be on this podcast and speaking, intimately twisted. You spoke on it then, and
Yeah.
to actually have it now.
Yeah.
Everything is full circle, so it's not working.
Absolutely.
But
Well,
December 30th.
have you. I'm excited to have you. Thank you so much. I know you're a busy man.
Yeah.
I know you was ripping and running, trying to get in place. So I appreciate it. It's great. I love your music. I heard it
Oh
at
wow.
the event at the Puff Puff Poetry.
Puff poetry. Yeah.
Puff Puff Poetry event at Tribeca. If you have not been, don't miss it. Like December 30th. Because I like to be a little bougie sometimes. I already got my
Right.
reserved seating. So
Well, that's how you gotta do it though.
yeah, that's the only way I know to do it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that though. Ain't
Yes.
nothing wrong with that. It's perks. It's perks in doing and moving like that. You know what I mean? Because you really get to enjoy the show, and it's an intimate set.
Right. It's very intimate. For those of you that love R&B, I love R&B. I'm kind of stuck. I'm still stuck in like the 90s, right? Early 2000s, something like that.
Right.
But I love it. And so I just remember hearing you. Really, I'm not going to lie to you. The second song got me, but the first song, I was just like, oh, okay, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Man, I still stand by it. That second song came on. I was like, oh, crap. My eyeballs were sweating a little bit. It hit me. It hit me. I think, and I told you too. We talked about that after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit.
You know what was crazy about the situation? So the first song, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, the first song, Broken Heart, was a song like I've been performing that a lot, and She's So Cold kind of came to me earlier, and she's like, just kind of have another one, in pocket, just in case how it feels. He said, I know I'm just saying one, just have another one just in case in pocket. So that second song, I had never like live performed it. So that was really just kind of like really breaking that in. So it was kind of like to be able to come out and then get that same report for that second song. It was like, okay. So you know what I mean? That's the thing about your artistry. It's like when you put it out there, you don't know how anything's gonna be received.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, it's the first time. Like, this is my first time doing a podcast. And you just have to jump, right? You just have
Yeah.
to, you
Yeah.
have to be, you can't just,
Yeah.
you know, teeter totter, like, okay, I'm gonna do it, maybe not. I'm gonna do it, maybe not. Like,
Now
you
you gotta
know,
do it. You
listen,
gotta do it.
I don't know if you, let me tell you, for the people that don't know my story, so let me just share this with you, right?
Come on.
I don't know how much you know, but August 2000, I was minding my own business. I was young, you know, I think I might have been 19 or something like that. Getting off of work, innocent. Getting off of work, going to go get me, you know, going to Jack in the Box.
Right.
Was hit head on by a drunk driver on that
Wow.
very night. And so here I am. August just
Wow.
made 21 years. I've dealt with so much in this 21 years. I still deal with pain. I still deal with, I have fibromyalgia. You know, fibromyalgia, I've had a traumatic brain injury, still have no structural damage, just more chemical. But you know what? I made it through my bachelor's degree after that. I got my bachelor's after that. I moved up in my career after that. No, don't get me wrong. I went through some shit, you know.
Right.
I went through, I still have anxiety to this day because of that. I still have pain in my low back because of that. Just December will make 4 years that I had surgery on my hip, not a replacement, but I had surgery. So my thing is this: I am at the point now where I have to. This is my new phrase: embracing the experience. Embracing the experience. I could have been gone 21 years ago, but I'm still here, and it's a blessing. And I don't take that lightly. I think, you know, for me, like when I face something, I get nervous, I get anxiety.
Right.
I did the film. And let me tell you, 21 years ago, I actually was in college. Let's see, 2000, nope, 1998. 1998, I was in college for audio engineering, music.
Wow.
I can't sing, but I've always been a writer and I always love writing. And I wanted to go into music and film, and, you know, writing scripts. That was my thing. And that accident happened 2 weeks before I was starting school and broadcasting school. I was going to go the broadcasting way and then go into the audio engineering and transition into films. So when I had that accident, believe it or not, I lost a lot of my memory. So it wasn't until years and years later that I finally was like, you know, something isn't sitting right in my soul. And I couldn't figure out what it was. And I was, you know, going into everything under the sun. Like I do accounting, 17 years in accounting, but something wasn't sitting right. And finally I woke up one day in 2020 and I was like, you know, whether you're spiritual, religious or not, like that's me. I had to really pray. And I was like, okay, God, there's something that's tugging at me. And I don't know what it is. What is it that my memory's blocking? Because I have memory loss. So what is in my memory blocking that I need to know right now? And do you know, I woke up and I wrote this script back in 2009. And I woke up and I said, you know what? Anaya's Escape. It's time. It's going to be a film. And that's the way I proceeded. And that's what it was. So it was pretty interesting. And then we hit it hard. I found an amazing cinematographer who became the assistant director, Nikolai Mitchell. And we made it happen. So that's where I met a lot of great actors, Tab Lee, India Granger, Jacob Rayner, London Kendrick Jr., and all the other actors and actresses that were either just starting out or just trying to move along in their career. So let me tell you, I'm the first one to tell anybody, keep pushing, keep moving, keep going, jump. Like, don't jump off of a building, jump. Jump.
Wow. You know what? And it's crazy how your steps are truly ordered. Mm-hmm. And you can feel like you're going one way and God has a way of blocking things and protecting you through the transition, because that's something that could have turned a whole different direction. You know what I mean? And for you to see it in a way of I got to do better.
Yeah.
That's something in itself. So, you know what I mean? Just pushing, because a lot of people make excuses and that could have turned you mentally a whole different way. Yeah. So commend you for that.
Yeah, I've had my days. But here's the thing. It's allowing yourself to have those days.
Right.
because I think a lot of times, and I'm the first one to say I'm hard on myself, it's allowing yourself that time. So if it was days when I was in pain, when I couldn't even open my laptop to do anything,
Right.
and I let that be okay for that day. Okay, fine. I'm having a bad day. It's okay. And then I'll pick back up a day or two later. So
Right.
so let's just jump right on in. I want to hear enough about me. I want to hear about you. I want to hear about what inspired you. And at what point did you know you wanted to be a singer and sing?
Um, you know what? Honestly, I've been doing music all my life. But well, I say all my life, but like really growing up in church and starting that way with just that was the first like background to me for like um not necessarily performing, but being like singing in front of people and being able to be comfortable with that and just singing live. So the transition part for me is when I got into the wanting to record,
Mm,
because recording and performing, you,
two different things.
they're two different things.
Some
You
people
know what I
can't
mean? And
perform. Would you agree? Some people can't
that,
perform, but they can do good, in the studio.
see, hold on. If I put you, hold on.
We can still hear you.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. Something it went out for a second.
Okay. So what were you about to say?
I don't know what your last statement was, but the last thing I was saying was yeah, because it glitched out.
No, I was just
But
saying that some people can't perform. Some people may be performers, or may do good in the studio, and they may not be great performers. Would you agree with that?
right,
Yeah.
right. Because the thing about performing live is that there are other people tied to it. It's other moving parts. So if you forget something or you get off note or off tone, like a good band or live music, they can make the adjustments in
Yeah.
live performance. You know what I mean? Or if something changes up or you feel like coming back to something, the band can pick up on that.
Yeah.
But recording is something completely different. Like the track's not gonna bend for your vocals.
Right.
So
You got to know how to sing.
yeah. So you know what I mean? So it's a lot of takes and a lot of different things with the recording in. But for me, I've always written. I've always loved music. Like at, at first it was just writing without tracks. I used to just write music, get notebooks,
Mhm.
and just through life, like just write different songs or different things like that. And then it started coming to where I wasn't even writing anymore. You just kind of listen to a beat
Yeah.
and you feel it. And if you listen to a track enough, to me, the track will tell you what to put on it. Like depending on how the vibe feel or where you're at. It's really like I don't know how to even explain it. Like it's you just gotta keep listening. You gotta listen to the track.
Yeah.
Like for me. So the writing part, I don't really take a whole lot of time with that anymore, but you just keep going through the track and what you hear. I feel like sometimes it's clear as day I can hear words through like the instrumental. Like if you keep listening to it, you hear certain things and you keep repeating that, and then you go with that. And that's really to me the motivation behind me. It's organic. It's not nothing you can force.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, guess what? I see that Tab is on, and so I'm gonna go ahead and bring her on. Hopefully she's
Yes.
ready. I see her smiling, so hopefully she can hear me. Again, we just had some technical difficulties. Let's add Tab Lee. Hi, how are you?
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, sorry. All right, cool beans. Oh my goodness.
Hey.
Y'all have to excuse the sister. Okay.
No, it's fine. So Tab, meet Claire. Claire, Tab.
Nice to meet you. Nice to
Joy.
meet you.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tab, for coming on. I went ahead. I just had a good feeling that you was gonna make it on. Anyway,
I was over here like, come on, gotta come on. This is not like I do not like being late for stuff. I don't like not being, that bothers me. So I was freaking out. Like, no.
oh no, it's okay. It's okay. Um, the Adventures of Dee Dee, Des, and Dex put on Facebook. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. He says, You are an inspiration. Keep telling your story. I really appreciate it. Did you catch some of this? So some of
Oh
the
yeah,
show?
I've been watching.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, look, we just want to jump right on in. Like, I'm so excited. Tab also does music, so
Yes.
that's why I just thought she'd be like the perfect guest host to talk music and love. And she just got married.
Thank
Congratulations!
you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just got married November 11th. Yep. So that was a whirlwind thing,
awesome.
but I'm so excited. Long time coming, but we made it happen. So
Yeah. Well, listen, what I really want to stress to everyone about this podcast, although it is new, I want people to know that we want to talk about the positive side of things. Like, relationships have so much negativity, right? I think we can all agree. Like, we hear a
Right.
lot about the negative, the divorce and the this and the cheating and the, you know, all the drama. Like, I don't like all the drama. But I do want to, the whole point of this is to shed light on the positive side. So it's just not love, right? It doesn't have to be love as far as a relationship goes, but love for music, right?
mhm.
Your passion, the things that you love to do that's near and dear to your heart. And for, both of you is singing and that's a big deal. So Tab, kind of tell us about where you came from and fill Player in on that.
Oh man, I have been well, I mean, I come from a family of singers and ministers, so obviously the gospel was in my family. My mother, my sisters, my brothers. I've been singing for, since I was a child, and so I started acting in 2006, and so I've been doing that ever since. I was like my being on stage, theater was my passion for a long time. So I kind of dabbled in film here and there, but I kind of got more prominent at when I moved here. I went to Chicago. I went to Columbia there and graduated from Columbia, and then I moved to Houston in 2013. And then I stopped. I got real discouraged and kind of let down. I was like, okay, well maybe this is not for me. I kind of gave up on myself, and so. But then I don't know. I started again, and I decided to keep going. So God has brought me a whole 360 here. So I'm proud to be where I am now and looking forward to what's to come. So
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you again. So, Claire, let me just jump right on in. Tell me so I know you're R&B, right? So you're R&B. Who's your favorite singer? Who do you listen to when you get in the car and you're just riding and relaxing?
Um, I actually listen to more old school. To be honest with you, I listen to
Yeah.
more old school music
Okay.
because I'll say like the Marvin Gaye's and the like
hmm
back in the days, like that type of music, or and then if I come up higher, it's really like the singers, John Legend, like things like that.
Okay.
Like not a whole lot of the newer, more or less of the old, like the soulless type of music. So
Well,
Same
that
look,
and
here.
gospel. If I'm not listening to gospel
Right,
music,
right, right.
listen, I like music, and here's the funny thing about me, and Tab can tell you, um, that facial expression, like her camera got froze on that facial expression.
I I thought she was just surprised.
Oh no, I know her music,
Yeah, yeah,
baby.
yeah. So here's the thing. I listen to a little bit of everything, right? And so I gotta watch it because I like music and the beat, right? And so there's things that I listen to where I don't necessarily like the words. And I think that's where I get into a lot of trouble, right? There's a lot of words that I don't
Right.
say. But it's in the song. And I'm mad because I'm like, man, that's a good song. Let's jam it. And then here they come messing up my flow with all these, in this and blah blah blah. And I don't like all that, but unfortunately, it's all on my playlist. Like it depends on how
Right.
I feel, right? I listen
Right.
to anything from old school. I was listening to country. I think this
Yeah.
morning I heard a new song. Someone told me about a new song, so I was like, "Ooh, that's a nice little song." Like I'm not really digging country, but I could get into this one. If you catch me, I'll switch from little ratchet to gospel. Lord forgive me, but it just depends on what's on my
Right.
playlist. Like I just depends on how
Right.
I'm doing. What's going on in the day.
Right.
So I
Right.
have to just jump into your song. You know what? I want to play just a little bit of Broken Heart. Let's do it.
Okay.
By the greatness, yeah. Ooh, yeah. It can't be approved if it is not tested. So fight with all of your heart, cause love is your weapon. The devil goes back and forth, seeking who next is, picking who next is. Is it you? If it ain't, trust it can be. The devil ain't after your stuff, he's after your family. And if you let him in, oh, you just let him win. Oh, be prepared for a whirlwind. Oh, it's hard holding on to what is fell apart. All the time you're struggling, keeping up with what you thought you lost. Trying to do it with a broken heart. Yeah. Yes, it's hard holding on to what is fell apart. Keeping up with what you thought you lost. Trying to do it with a broken heart. Yeah.
Come on there. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. One of my favorites. Yeah. So let me ask you. Did you have a broken heart when you wrote this?
It's life.
It's
Music
like,
is art imitate, like it's real life music. Like you have to go through those situations where you're trying to put something together and the pieces are, you know what I mean? You're trying to pick up broken pieces and the ups and downs and the different things of that nature. So I figure like if you put your life in music, somebody else is living that, so it's able to be, you know what I mean? You're able to speak for somebody's able to relate
yeah,
because we're never the only one going through something. So yes,
absolutely. So
that's
that brings me into relationships. Um, having been brokenhearted at some point in time, does that discourage you at all? Like as a man, because one of the we like to talk about stuff like this, and we, women, we can talk about it, but our view is going to be a little bit different, right? And so as a man, I'm just curious to know, like, if you've experienced a broken heart, does that do you block do you block yourself? Do you put up a guard? Like, what's your next steps after that?
um it's an awareness. It makes you kind of evaluate things different. With everything, but you just can't let it change you. That's the thing. The first thing that happens with a broken heart is a lot of different you second guessing a lot of different things that you're trying to the wise and break down a lot of things. But once you get past that and you get to you, um, that's when you free it. A
Yeah.
lot of time, it comes with you carrying past wounds that kind of stop you. But once you get to you,
Hmm.
that's the
Yeah,
so
absolutely. I agree. And that's the thing. I think a lot of times and there's nothing wrong with being guarded, right? Like it's okay to be guarded, but
right,
to not allow that broken heart to block you, because there's a difference.
right,
There's a difference to
Mhm.
me. And I don't know how you both feel, but between being guarded and being blocked.
right, right.
Tab, what are your thoughts on that?
If well, I mean, this is my second time being married. So and also for him as well. So neither one of us, thought we would do it again, because I have a child from my first marriage. He has two children from his first marriage, and just it ended badly. Just so it's like when you kind of afraid to, do I really want to try this again, type of thing. And so I think just learning to trust yourself and to trust each other, and to just have faith, I'm gonna try this again. and this time go around, this is gonna be all right. This time I'm gonna make different choices. And so,
Yeah.
it's all about your choices and what you choose to do. I can decide to have a good marriage this go around. And so, for both of us, so we just decided to go ahead and just make that leap together. And so it is hard when you leave toxic, situations, and you can't allow it to, to bind you up, if I can say that, just to kind of keep you in a place of, okay, well, all men ain't, all women ain't this, and whatever it is. And so it's
Right.
so easy to put someone in a box. It's so easy to say that,
Right.
all men ain't shit type stuff. But so many women
You
do
hear a
that.
lot of that too. You hear a lot of all women ain't shit, all men ain't shit. Like that's the whole
Mhm.
Right.
thing. That's what I wanted to say is it's not about, and that's why I talk about the positivity, right? That instead of it being all about the negativity, it's not everyone, So at the end of the day, and this is my phrase that I say that for people that know me, it's not the marriage, right? It's not the relationship. It's the person that you're
Right.
journeying with. And so if you've had a broken heart, if you've been hurt or whatever you've been through, it's about recognizing, seeking, clarity in whatever your own actions, and saying, hey, let me do this differently. I was in my relationship marriage for 16 years. I'm the first person that'll tell you, if anything, I'd probably be the one out of the three of us that should be like, man, forget it. I'm not ever doing this again. After 16 years, like that's pretty much all I knew as an adult for the most part.
Right.
And I can still say that it's not the marriage. It wasn't the marriage that, it didn't work, but it was the people and the situation and the things that were, that we went through that caused it not to work. So I would never go to someone else and say, nope, my marriage didn't work, so you don't do it. And I think that's
Right.
we get into a little bit of a tricky area, right? Is that that's the negativity. Like females are saying, girl, don't do that. And don't get me wrong, there's some women's and men's intuition that happens when you can see through BS. But
Right.
there are also jealousy. Like there's some jealous people out there. There's some people that don't have your best intentions at heart or whatever, to where they're like, don't do it. And they're only telling you the negative. They're not telling you about the positive side. And it's you've been in it. You just got married your second time, and you weren't married to him before. You were married to someone else. And so now you have to take that and learn from that and go on a different journey. And as I say, hashtag embracing the experience.
Right. It's trust. Trust is everything. Like, and if anything, with a broken heart and different things like that, that's when all the smoke clears. A lot of times, that's what it'll break down to. If you can get past, a lot of times that part, it has a lot of different layers to it. But when it's a security in the motives, and a security in what you say you're gonna do, and a open line of communication, and it's things like that, that gives you that rest and that peace. You know what I mean? To because if everything's out there in the forefront, it's not a lot in the middle you worrying about if it's communication. So
that's good.
That's what I feel, that when things do tear apart, a lot of times that's the part that breaks, like that communication and the trust. And once that's gone, if you're not going to put the work into, both parties are not going to put the work into making that make sense, then you beating a dead horse. And that's a matter. So that's really what it chalks down to. So it's not the marriage, it's not the individual. It's a lot of times the trust between the two, each other, with either sides, for whatever reasons. And it might not be the individual. It might be what came before that individual. You know what I mean? Like Music Soul Child had a song, I am not to blame for the pain that was caused. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You gotta blame me for me. You gotta see me for me. And that's the thing. So that's also something that's tied to an equation. It's like, this dude might be straight, and you bringing in other cricket dudes, you know what I mean, or vice versa, whatever, how that plays. So
yeah, no, that makes sense. Tab, do you have any thoughts or comments on that?
I was going to add to that. I mean, I think people would appreciate consistency. If you are consistent, that's important. Clarity, communication, and consistency. You gotta be
The three
consistent.
C's.
I'm telling you, it's important. It's important. I believe it's important in any relationship.
Clarity.
Just communicate with me. You know what I'm saying? But be consistent in what you're doing, what you say, and how you are with me. How we're going to build a foundation in where we're trying to go. And if we're going in the same direction, be consistent with me. Let me know, hey, if I'm going to allow you to lead. A lot of women don't want our men to lead, or yeah, that's a big thing right there, because it's like we don't want the man to lead, but it's like, well, where are you taking me to? And so
Yeah.
it's just just is I can trust you, to lead me. Is like, hey, as long as we're on the same path and we're in agreement together, then we're gonna be all right. But be consistent.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's a word I'm looking for it, and I can't think of the word that I'm looking for right now. For some reason, I always forget this word, but I just want to piggyback off of that. Like, there are a lot of women that are like, no, I'm not about to allow him. Submissive. That's it.
That's the word.
Submissive.
Right.
So listen,
They don't like that word.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a cuss word to somebody.
submissive. Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's a cuss word. I'm not gonna lie, but here's the thing. That was a cuss word to me. Like, I'm gonna be upfront, but what I learned in the 16 years, I'll be open, because it's important, because it's gonna help someone else, right? I went to counseling, and I was originally going to counseling. It was supposed to be couples counseling, marital counseling. And then, but I was there by myself for the most part, maybe 80% of the time. So I don't think that qualifies, but I took advantage of that. And I allowed that time to be about me learning more about myself. Right. And that was really, really important.
Wow.
And submissive came up, and I was like, no, 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 no. You ain't never gonna catch me being submissive. And you know what? And we had to dig deeper into that word. And so what I learned is it was all about the person. The person that I was with at that time, I wasn't comfortable with being submissive to him. It had nothing to do with the word submissive. I didn't trust who was trying to lead me. And I didn't realize it until later that was the thing. And my counselor, she ended up telling me, because I like, I had this hardcore, right? I was like, people be like, man, Jennifer, you don't have any emotions. And I was like, I do. I do.
Right.
I have emotions, like, but you're not going to see it unless I really care. Unless I'm really allowing myself to be vulnerable, because that means if you see my emotions, that means I trust you. Right. That means that I can be, even if it's just a friendship, I can trust you with my emotions, that you're not going to take advantage of that. And that actually, for me, even pulls into that word submissive. It doesn't have to be, always the relationship. Like, I can trust you as a friend to lead and to be a part of this friendship. I can trust you to do this. But for me, it was like, everything was like, no, not in the relationship, but during counseling, when she was telling me about it. And it finally came up. She said, Jennifer, the reason why you've had to do all these things is because you didn't have it. You became the person you needed. And that hit me hard, because I was like, let me just rewind that a little bit. I became the person I needed. So I became the lead. I became the decision maker. I became anything, like, I became that person. And so I was the woman that walked up to the door and just opened it up. Hell, I was opening it up for other people, like other females. I was like, man, I'm gonna make a good husband one day.
Right.
I told my counselor, like, I'm a
real man.
I'm gonna make a good husband. Like, awesome. Like, I would just sweep a woman off their feet if.
Right.
And I didn't understand my why. And she was like, Jennifer, you became what you needed. And I was like, okay. And so if I get those things, if I come across the right person that I trust to lead, that I know is a good leader, I can then take a little bit of a back seat. And so it was very interesting.
Yeah. because that's the most natural position. Is not we're not supposed to be in survival mode.
Yeah.
That's what's draining, and that's where a lot of anxiety comes from to begin with, because you're trying to figure out a lot of things. So it's not, you know what I mean? Just like, I was talking to my son about, like, certain people, when you grow up in certain areas and certain neighborhoods, you don't want to live like that. That's just what's around you. That's what's there. You would rather live without hearing gunshots. You would rather live without, hearing all of those different things. You just adapting. So
Yeah.
a lot of times that's what it is.
Look, let me tell you this embarrassing story some years ago.
Oh.
It's embarrassing. So I was living, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago or so. I was still with my ex-husband, and he was gone to work. It was just me and the kids, right? This was June, okay? All of a sudden, I hear, pow, 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 pow. Now, I don't live in the hood, so I'm just like, what the? And I jump, I get down, I'm running through my house, and I'm 911, 911. Like, I'm literally running through my house. I didn't grab my knife. I told my kids to
not the knife. Oh no, not the knife.
Oh, she was ready after hearing pow, pow, pow.
Right. I don't know what I was gonna do with a knife, but listen, I was gonna be prepared a little bit, right? Man, do y'all know it was the neighbors popping firecrackers? I was like, who pops firecrackers in June? Until I realized, I guess they was popping firecrackers for Juneteenth. But listen, that environment.
You told on yourself. That's what that was. They was like, oh, she about that life. Oh, she used to that.
Look, don't catch. Listen, I just adapt, but don't catch me on the wrong day. I be at work like, wait, what's that? Okay, nobody else jumped. Okay, good. I'm gonna be all right then.
Right. If the owner's not jumping, we good. All right.
Listen, but hey, if you see one of us run,
everybody running.
Man, so crazy story with that. So I'm in my backyard. I'm trying to barbecue in the backyard, and I got this little smoky grill that's with a hole in the back. At this time, it's burn ban time. It's not supposed to. It's dry. I got the pit in the backyard. A coal fell from the pit. Next thing I know, the backyard is on fire. Like, I go look in the back. I look in the backyard, and the backyard's on fire. My son's friend is in the room playing a game. Next thing I know, my son, the kids, everybody's outside. The friend's still inside the house. My son, like, you don't know to run, like, with everybody.
Okay.
You don't know to run with everybody. Like, what you?
Was he not one of us?
Yeah, he was, but he was protected. He was a protected version, so he don't really, like, he used to.
He ain't know. Okay.
Yeah.
See what you're supposed to do when you see the niggas run. You better run. You don't wait around to see what it is. You better run.
You see the owner, your boy leave, but I'm like, dude, I know you ain't just leave your friend.
Hey,
he said, I thought he knew to leave. I thought he knew to run.
Let something happen right now. I'm be like,
right.
I'm gone.
Right.
Ask questions later.
It's all in what you're used to.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all
about what you're used to. So
that's crazy. Well, look, I love it. I want to get into I did it out of order, but I want to get into like my favorite song. I just want to play a little bit of my favorite song. My eyeballs not gonna sweat. Okay, so I'm good. I just want y'all to know I ain't gonna do none of that.
What?
Yeah. It got me. I ain't even gonna front. But let me go ahead and just jump right on into it.
Tonight's guest, let's bring him on. Singer, songwriter, actor, Houston's very own PLAIR. You know what?
That's dope.
Let's listen to a little bit of his song.
Follow greatness, You're sweet like a strawberry, dipped in sugar. Refreshing like a cold glass of water after being in the sun all day. Okay, Time waits for no one, and I can't lie. It seems that it paused when I'm with you. Thick or thin, right or wrong, we gon' get through whenever together. Oh. Turn all this pain to pleasure. Turn all this rain to sunshine. Now we all smiles, no stressing, no stressing. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about a lot of things, but I know I love you, and it ain't gonna change, no. People come and people go, but I'm here to stay. I ain't going nowhere, baby.
Woo!
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
I love that song. Let me just tell you again, I love that song.
I appreciate that.
When I found it, I think I listened to it for like 4 days straight, just on
Yeah.
repeat. I'm that person. When I hear something and I like it,
Right.
it's just on repeat. Like, it don't matter if I'm on time 10. Like, I heard it 10 times. If I'm feeling it, I'm feeling it. And I just want to keep feeling it. And that's
I appreciate that.
yeah, it just brings so many positive emotions. And
that vibe is nice. I mean, you have such a just that smoothness you have is. I can't think of the who you sound like. You have such a I don't know. I can't even a richness to your voice. It's really nice.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's the
yeah. So what inspired this song?
Man, love. Like love inspired this song. Like it's especially in this time, it's a lot of like separations, it's a lot of attacks, a lot of different things that's going on. So again, timeless music is music that should always, you should be able to play it in 2055 or 28, you know what I mean? Because love should always be so really just love and just knowing like when you there, we there.
Yeah.
Ain't going nowhere. A lot of people come and go, and that's how life happens.
That's right.
People come and go, but love should stand. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So let me ask you, man, like, you know, with so many guys, Tab, you ain't been out in the dating world in a while. But I'm sure you remember something. You know,
I remember a little bit.
a little bit.
what is that? I got a little bit.
I got a little something in the background.
Just a little, you know, I've been out. Like, I don't know. I can't even say if I was ever in the game, right? Because I came out 21, 22. I was taken. So, yeah. So I'm new to this, and I'm not even jumping in yet. I'm new to it. But let me, one thing I hear just talking to people is, you know, the men are, I don't know, Tab, you may have to help me on this one. They're hesitant. I'll just be nice. They're hesitant. What makes you so, what makes it different for you to still keep moving forward? And, you know, in this, is love a lost art? Is romance a lost art? Like, just talk to me as a man.
You know, I don't think it's a lost art. I think
your sound is a little, okay, there we go. We can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it's a lost art. I think what it is, it's not. It's so many other noises out there, and there's so many other distractions and things to hear. It's like you got to be looking for it. You got to be like really on the hunt for it. Just like God, he don't speak loud, yell. He got a soft, real soft voice. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it is. In the time we're in, it's so many other quick fixes
available to you. That's what.
Yeah, it's so many quick fixes, and you know what I mean. We're in
an
instant gratification world, so it's a lot of substitutes. You dig what I'm saying? So I feel like love isn't a lost art. It's for people that's tired of the substitutes, and we're equally trying to figure out like, okay, are we gonna build together? And if we're gonna build together, because eventually you start building, like you say, you start creating on your own, but then you realize like, that's not gonna work.
Yeah,
that's not gonna, you know what I mean? That's or it's a time where you want to share that with somebody or say, if I built this, let's. So I don't feel it's a lost art. I feel like it's reserved for.
That's a good one.
Really
so I have a question. So for my fellas, do y'all want the Instagram model? Do you want the, the Coke bottle shape? Does she gotta have the long cascading weed? I mean, like, is that what y'all go for?
No, that's the instant gratification.
you know.
Nah, that right there is the instant gratification part. Like that right there, that's not what a man is really looking to stick around
Man is
with. You know what I mean?
So
That's
when does
like
the moment, when does that moment come in to where you want a woman that's an actual woman? I mean, like, does she have something other than just her pretty face and all that and nice body? But at what point does a man say, okay, I'm done doing that. I want somebody that can build with me?
when it's revealed, like it's a two-sided coin.
Hmm.
The first side of it is when you feel you're in a position to where you're ready to build, and the second side of the coin is on the woman's side. It's like, does
Hmm.
she have like the traits that I feel like she gonna be somebody I can rock with, and we really can move, and I don't have to worry about a lot of the stupid stuff. So it's
I
really
get.
two-sided. You see yourself first. You got to be tired.
Yeah.
You gotta be tired. And on their side, for the female side, if something is too easy for a man, I'm gonna tell you, like, for my end, if something is too easy for me, then I know I'm not that good. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's
Mhm.
like if something's too easy, you've been moving like that. So I just gotta take this for this moment. You know what I mean? Or whatever, however it moves. But when something comes too fast, I tell my son all the time, you don't remember the ones that said yes. You know what I mean? It's the
Mhm.
ones that said no to things that stick out in your head. The ones
Yeah.
that didn't move like everybody else moved is the ones
Mm.
that stand out. So I don't know if that answers your question, but the
Yeah.
Instagram, that's that's instant gratification. So
Right.
that's what strip clubs is for. That's why strip clubs is packed with.
There's still strippers out there during COVID. Like, I'm just kidding.
They're play they make
Do
their
they have
money
masks
too.
on? I don't know. Do they have masks?
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Yeah, ain't that get it how you
They gotta
live.
make
But I'm
their
just
money too.
saying,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but it ain't like for what you saying. It's a guy is really looking for the one that's not out there in the forefront like that. Unless that's his lifestyle. If his lifestyle is out in the forefront, now it's a mutual agreement. Like we both can
Yeah.
uh put each other's platform out there. But if you're not out there for a purpose of it, of you know what I mean, on
Mhm.
business or something like that, you doing too much.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's just me.
So, what advice would you give? And this is a two-part question, right? What advice would you give to the guys um, who's experienced some type of heartbreak, disappointment, been played, whatever the situation is? Because it seems like they have a harder time kind of bouncing back. And what advice would you give to the woman in that same scenario?
To be honest, it's really not a two-part. It's it's the same advice.
Your sound your sound went down a little bit.
It's honestly not. Can you hear me?
We
Mhm.
can't.
It's honestly not a two-side. It's the same thing. It's build yourself, because when you get locked in a relationship, you start intertwining. Y'all start braiding within each other. You know what I mean? So y'all schedule starts to be the same. Your memories are the same. So many different things are the same. Now you gotta detach, and you have to start to get yourself where you need to be. Because what happens is, on both sides, men and women, if you don't, you're still intertwined with the past foolishness too that you bring to the next person. So it's like you never really give yourself that time to
Find you again.
yeah. So that would be my advice. Like I say, on both sides, is for a male, like, take the time to find who you are, and take the time to get to know what you like again, because that might have gotten blended in with what the with the compromising
Mhm.
of being in a relationship. Some of that gets distorted, and you know what I mean, trying to make a happy home.
Yeah, absolutely. This is off the subject a little bit, but a little curious. It still deals with music and it still deals with love. So, as a singer, have you ever had to sing to a woman? Like, just either I got to get her back, or I just want you to know how I feel. Like, have you just laid it all out there and just
come on, lay it all out there?
Right.
Yes. Yes. It comes in like, but to be honest with you, in all honesty, I'm really shy. Believe it or not, I'm really shy on like in front of people singing. Like I really don't like singing. Like in front of somebody that just asked me to sing on the spot. I see it.
Point down. Like, where's that?
Hold up. Now these sound right.
But for some reason, I've noticed that with a lot of people, that's something I've always been trying to work on outside of me, and friends and family tell me, man, you got to get out there and just start. Like, just if I could sing like you, I'd be walking through the mall just singing and doing it. Like, I really.
They say that, but that's not true.
I really, you know what I mean? I really don't really move like that for some strange reason. So, but to answer that question, yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Okay, so wait. So is it a show? I mean, do you lick your lips to like LL Cool J? You know what I'm saying? Do you put your hand down
on the shoulder? You gotta,
right.
It depends, man. Like I was young. Now I can tell how old this was when before I let you can I get a kiss before I let you go? Can I get a kiss? Good night. Yeah, so I'm steady asking, for a kiss or what have you, and woo woo woo, and that song popped in my head, and I started singing that song, and it changed the game, and I was like, okay,
that's how you do
it. Okay,
yeah.
Oh, so we
wow. So did you got your kiss, though, right? You got your kiss?
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
It was a hug. We don't.
Mission accomplished.
But not too much. But to be honest, I really am. I'm not the person to just, if you know me, I'll sing around, but like I'm not the person that could just go to a park or just go stand in the middle of somewhere and just start singing for some strange reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, look, you know what? You're going to be in your element on December 30th at the Puff Puff Poetry event at Tribeca. It's off of Emancipation.
He say the Puff Puff.
Yes. Poetry. Like they have hookah there. Puff Puff Poetry. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a beautiful. It's a beautiful.
I'm going. My girl Ashley and Yolanda is in there. Yeah.
Oh, that's was. See what I'm talking about? That's beautiful.
My peoples, man. They're my peoples. Ashley spoke at my wedding. She actually did a poem for me and my husband.
Wow. See, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. Right. Like, look how dope that is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, look how. Well, so you can be there. Well, we'll meet again.
For sure, man.
I'm gonna be in the house, so I just have one request. Are you singing Nowhere? Because that's what I want to hear.
You know what? I'm gonna sing no. I'm gonna do a little. Yeah, I got to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
I got to.
I just need to be in the house for that, because listen, it's one thing to see the video. Yeah. It's another thing to be in the house amongst the people who appreciate the art, who appreciate poetry, who love the singing, who just the vibe. You know what? The vibe was so different. It didn't feel like Houston. And I'm not a going out person.
When I tell you, it was elegant. Like they transformed that place to like, And
like you were somewhere else.
I was somewhere, and then I had family surprise me and drive down from Mississippi. Like from Mississippi, I didn't even know they were coming to just.
We heard them. You heard them when I was listening to the video. That was funny. I was just like, okay, you got that love. I love it. I heard it.
We heard them.
Hey, it was all
so
good.
Yeah, it was a beautiful. Yeah, so it's gonna be a beautiful thing. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, well, listen, we thank you so much for everybody tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm the host, the founder of Intimately Twisted Podcast. Get your tickets. It's hey, free support, right? Like free promotion. I really want people to experience that event because it's so beautiful. It's such a nice vibe. It's amazing.
Right.
I feel like once you go once, you're gonna be like,
Yeah,
ooh,
you gonna follow me. You
next
gonna
one.
want to, yeah.
Yeah,
You gonna definitely want to know what the next one is and the next one is. So yes,
absolutely. So Eventbrite, check out Eventbrite. It's called Puff
puff
Puff,
puff poetry.
and it's
Yes.
December 30th. It's at Tribeca. So definitely check it out. Tab, do you have any last minute comments, questions? Because I'm actually gonna put both of y'all on the spot. I want to hear a little something from both of y'all before
Hold
we
on. So is she the
out.
one you were the one that played? You played the first video from the first song.
Yeah.
Oh, dope,
Yeah,
dope, dope,
yeah.
dope, 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 dope. Like I'm really like I thought she
It's the hair, baby. It's the hair. You know,
man.
I added some stuff.
You changed up, huh?
I added some hair. No, you know what? I just want to say, I mean, this was awesome. Thank you for having me on. I mean, your work is awesome. I can't wait to again just to experience more of what God is going to do. I mean, we have so much to give and to say and to share, and so, yeah. I mean, just but for love, I mean, don't give up. I mean, just
Right,
because you had them, you know, you got your bad ones out there, but you know, look, that right one is going to come along. Be patient and have faith. It's going to be.
right.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Tab, you know what? Let me hear a little something. You already. I know you stay prepared. I know you stay prepared. Listen, I knew what he was doing when he didn't let me sing like that, like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Like, singing orders at the drive-through. Like, come on, go and break it down.
Woke up this morning with a smile on my face. Jumped out of bed, took a shower, dressed, cleaned up my place, made me some breakfast,
Come on.
toast, two scrambled eggs,
Mm.
grits. Grab my keys, grab my purse, grab my jacket off to work, yeah.
Come on.
How about that? I want some of them grits that she.
Come on. Right. Hey, my
Take some
stomach
grits.
started growling. I was tasting them.
Oh, it tasted good, didn't it? You know, she threw it
Yeah,
out
right.
there.
I did a little something.
Listen, man, beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tab, you know what? And I'm sorry, we didn't even go into it, but let me just say, as an actress, as a singer, songwriter, dancer, you've been doing some things lately.
You know, no,
Oh,
I mean the heels out movements on Instagram, Facebook. I mean, I've been doing that lately. I mean, I just love to dance. I mean, it's all about women empowerment. You know, just getting together, networking. So I love doing that. I mean, the singing thing. I'm actually not like you said. I'm actually not like a front type of singer. Like, yeah, it's different. No, it's different. It's different.
oh,
Hold
okay.
on. Wait. I mean, I'll do it. But I don't know. I've never just pushed my own self to kind of get out
Right.
there and like doing things solo. Like I've always done like, you know, some background stuff, theater stuff. But I've never actually pushed myself to go big. Like I've never done that. But I mean I could if I wanted to, I guess.
You can.
But I mean acting is my love though. I mean, I've always been, you know, that's just something I've always loved to do. And so I'm just saying, man, I want my Grammy, you know, I want my
Yeah.
Oscar.
Keep
Yeah.
moving, keep pushing forward and keep doing it because you're so talented. And for those who
Yes.
don't know, you know, Tab was one of the leading actors in my film, Anaya's Escape. And so I'm so thankful to have met you. You're so talented, not just
Dope.
acting, but singing. You also performed my song, which is called Run. That was in Anaya's Escape, performed by you and also India Granger. So I'm super excited. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And
Dope.
so I look forward to more of these.
Yeah.
I love it. We got to do this a little bit more often. But
Yeah.
PLAIR, listen, I can't wait to see you. I will be seeing you December 30th. I'll make sure I grab you, find you.
Yes.
But you know what, everybody, this has been the Intimately Twisted podcast. It is a
Yes.
podcast on love, intimacy, sex, and trauma, all the positive things.
Right.
And tonight we had an amazing, talented guest PLAIR, as well as our guest host, Tab Lee. Can you take us out with a little something? Go on and break it down for us, sir.
Oh, sir.
You're talking about you. I mean, you got
I need to get my tissue.
Oh, it's not the you put me on the spot. You put me on the it can't be approved if it is not tested. So fight with all of your heart, cause love is your weapon. The devil goes back and forth, seeking who next is, picking who next is. Is it you? If it ain't trust, it can be. The devil ain't after your stuff, he's after your family. And if you let him in, oh, you just let him win. Oh, be prepared for a whirlwind. Can I hit the hook? Oh, it's hard. Holding on to what is fell apart. And picking up what you thought you lost. And trying to do it with a broken heart. Yeah. Yes, it's hard.
Hey.
Hey, all right.
That's it.
With that in mind, I'm just gonna replay as we go out and end the broadcast. I'm just gonna play. Which one? Which one should I play?
You know what? I'm gonna be real with you. I couldn't remember the words like to the one you really love. Like that's really why I gave you Broken Heart. I told you I just started performing that. Like
you gotta perform it. Just be ready to perform it. I'm gonna have it by then.
Hey.
Listen, thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone's time. I know it went over the 45 minutes to an hour, but it was such a good show tonight. I just had to have y'all on and keep it going. I look forward to it. And again, check them out online. Your social media. Do you want to, you know what? Just share your social media. How can people find you and follow you?
Taptrice Lee on Instagram, and then Facebook is Tabitha L. Lee. Yeah, that's it.
Right. And PLAIR?
You can find me on PLAIR Music. Facebook, Follow Greatness PLAIR. Or really, if you hashtag Follow Greatness, you can find me anywhere. Like just hashtag Follow Greatness and tap that, and you'll find me anywhere. So
all right.
Right. So, but I really appreciate the opportunity to be on the podcast. The time being over doesn't even matter. Time flies when you're having fun. So yeah, we appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Thank you so much, everybody.
Oh, you put it up there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go at PLAIR Music and hashtag.
Boy, you fancy. She put it on there minute talk, real time.
You know, try to do a little something. I try. But hey, this is I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to play the one that I had earlier, so you will hear me say the introduction. But I just want to hear this as we take it on out. Again, thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in to the Intimately Twisted podcast. I am your founder and your host, Jennifer Smith.
I'm so excited about tonight's guest. Let's bring him on.
Singer, and we already have him on, but we're just closing out.
Houston's very own PLAIR. You know what? Let's listen to
that's a dope intro too. That's dope.
Thank you.
I need to give me a video. I need a video.
Go online. It's on YouTube. It's called Nowhere.
You're sweet like a strawberry, dipped in sugar. Refreshing like a cold glass of water after being in the sun all day. All okay, yeah.
Okay, I got it now.
Time waits for no one.
I know the word.
Can't lie.
What you say? You should have just asked me.
You thick of being right or wrong. We gon' get through whatever together. Oh, turn on this rain with sunshine. Now we all smiles, no stressing, no stressing. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about a lot of things. Yeah, but I know I love you, and it ain't gonna change.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
People go, but I'm here to stay.
Have a great night.
I ain't going nowhere.